Okay, good morning. I am so excited to have this class. You see, in 2014, I found out about SMS short code. Those codes that you buy and then use it to send messages to people. You pay 100 naira for 14 days or 7 days, depending on the cost on what you are selling. But typically, it was 50 naira, 100 naira. That was it. And most pastors used it a lot at that time. I can remember uh, Pastor Sam Adeyemi used it a lot. When they send you those contents, they send it every day for 7 days or 15 days, as the case may be. So I bought the short code. I think I bought it around 45,000 naira. Yes. But one of the mistakes that I made when I bought it was that the person I bought it from did not tell me every detail about what I was buying. I did not know that I would need an SMS, bulk SMS platform. So by the time he sold me the code and I asked him to, what next, he said I had to get a bulk SMS platform. And bulk SMS platform, I had two options. I could use, I can buy credits from bulk SMS companies, or I can have my own personal website that I can be able to use it whenever I want to use it, and there will be no itch, compared to using those credits that I bought from SMS companies. So I had to pay another 16,000 to make a website. I named that website SMS Academy. So on that website, it was a bulk SMS website. Whenever I buy credit, the credit was used to send those SMSes to people who subscribed for my uh, course. I tell you, it was an experience that I would never forget in a hurry. I didn't make much money because around that time I didn't expect the stress to be as much as it was. I spent over 70,000 naira on the project, but I didn't make up to 70,000. I didn't make the money back, but I learned a lot from that system. So as I was going back, checking some of my files yesterday, I saw the files that are related to that experience. There was one I wrote about how to create SMS courses. So that's what I'm going to share with you now. I understand that you will not be using SMS short codes, especially because it is no longer. I've not seen anybody using it lately. So I believe that the NCDC or whatever parastatal that is in charge of that telecommunications aspect, perhaps they've closed it down or something because of these instances of unsolicited messages that happens when you use such. So I recommend that you use them on your Facebook and WhatsApp status. You see those status that you see on Facebook, you can create your SMS courses and put them there. You see, early this year I decided to do something like that, but for time I didn't have time to create those courses. I must mention that if you are going to be doing this thing, you have to be ready to create as much courses as possible. For example, if you are going to be posting a particular course today, you should be ready that tomorrow you have another course to promote. Next tomorrow you have another one to promote. Now the fourth day you may promote the one you promoted last week. Doesn't matter, but you cannot promote a course today and not promote one tomorrow. So I didn't really have that time to create new courses. The courses I had are not for the particular audience that I serve now. So I I didn't have time to create courses. So that's one of those things that you must understand, Sha. So let's move on. At least you now have an idea of how these things can work. You can also uh promote these courses on Twitter. Twitter has this 140 characters uh thing already. So, and SMSs are generally 140 characters. So it can be done on Twitter. I didn't do it on Twitter back then. So I tried it like 2 or 3 times. And one of those reasons why I could not succeed on Twitter was I don't really like Twitter. The noise there is too much. And I don't really understand the tweets and what. I still don't understand Twitter. So even though I had interest in Twitter because of my SMS courses back then, I could not use Twitter. I still can't use Twitter anyway. I'm still learning. I don't know. Somehow I'm more comfortable with Facebook. Okay, let's move on. You see, block SMS courses are short messages for teaching a subject, topic, or content using bulk SMS platforms and SMS short codes. But you can also, instead of those SMS platforms and SMS short codes, you can also use WhatsApp and Facebook statuses. And you can also use Twitter. There is no law right now that says you cannot promote anything, or you cannot promote SMS courses on Twitter or Facebook or WhatsApp. No, it's just like your typical status, but you know what you are doing. You're not just posting about gist or about BB Nigeria. No, you are posting a course. You are teaching people something. That is the idea. So it's just the typical WhatsApp status, but it's just that it is a course, and it was designed strategically. You didn't just wake up and began to talk about anything. You purposely planned it out. And there are three essential things when you're creating an SMS course. You need an audience. I tell you, this is very important. Your audience, you must have a clear idea of who are those people that will be that you are writing the content for. You must understand your audience very well. Now, because it's WhatsApp status, you understand that some people that are not amongst your audience will see it. Do you understand? So at times you may have to write for your audience, and you have to leave room for instances where people that are not your audience will sit. I like it because those are not your audience. They can of course recommend that your audience that they have around them, they can recommend that they follow you and all that. So I like it because it can encourage word of mouth. So you need three things: you need an audience, you need a clear objective or a goal. It's like any training or any course, you need an objective. This topic you're talking about is about how to create an SMS course. It should be clear from the beginning that you want to teach how to create an SMS course. You shouldn't go dabbling into other things that are unrelated to what you want to teach. So it has to be clear. And then you have the process. So that process is very important. What I mean by process is from your audience to the objective and some other things around. You need those processes that are in between everything, your plan of action. We're going to talk about process more later, but what I'm just trying to say is that you need a process. That's a plan of action, a pathway, and so on. So let's move on. We're going to talk about process soon. Now, there are two types of SMS courses. You can have ones that are a sequel to a bigger course or a training. For example, if this SMS course now, if I put up an SMS course about how to write SMS courses, and I also have a book that has more details about SMS courses, or I have ebooks, I have classes, live events, I have a Facebook group or something like that. So I can use that SMS course to promote that ebook, that course, that Facebook group, and so on. I can do that. An SMS course can be used to promote other products. So it is as a sequel to a bigger course or training material and so on. Or it can be a standalone course where you just put, but I don't, it's not, as a standalone course, you may not be able to do much. But basically, you use standalone courses, SMS courses, where you are putting up things that are not that are easily seen everywhere. For example, if you are trying to motivate your audience, You can collate a couple of quotes and make an SMS course out of them. Now, those quotes, you cannot say begin to sell other people's quotes. You cannot, I don't know, except of course if you have a book that has a compilation of quotes. And I don't think people buy that anymore. I don't think people buy that. So that kind of content, you can use it to make a standalone course instead of a sequel to a bigger course. So the idea is two types of SMS courses, one that leads to other courses and one that can stand alone. Now, this particular standalone course, I like it. I use it when, for instance, you have plans to promote 4 courses this week. Now, the other 3 days you don't have courses on ground. You may use some of these standalone courses. You understand? If you're like the one I was talking about, that you have a couple of motivational quotes and then you compile them into a SMS course, you may just the last 3 days you just use standalone uh, course to fill up the gap. And at times it's better for you to mix them up so that you don't seem salesy, you don't seem as if it's all about money. So we'll talk about some of these things later. Now, who can use SMS courses? You see, churches and mosques can use it to teach their members and raise funds. Authors, writers, and researchers can promote their books and work with SMS courses. Public speakers, lecturers, and trainers. Even schools can use it to promote their programs. Also, independent training providers can use SMS courses to promote their services. Also, companies and organizations can use it to promote the use and understanding of certain principles and lines of thought. Yes, why should you use SMS course to promote your brand? SMS course can boost your brand by improving the degree to which your audience will become attached to your brand. You can imagine if you have an SMS course as a sequel to a bigger course. Because you're giving out SMS course for free, people are likely to say, "Oh, I like this course. Hello, sir, how do I get this course?" And you tell them, once the course is available for just today. So if it is once you're not able to capture the important part of this course right now, you can't capture it again except if you buy my ebook. So it basically says, okay, how much is the ebook? Oh, 1,500, and the person pays. So it can give people an incentive to become attached to your brand or to increase your sales. It can influence how people perceive your brand. When they already see a sample of what you are doing via your SMS course, they're likely to say, "Oh, I want to buy." Now, with SMS courses, in addition to your other branding efforts, you can project your brand by design. How people see you, you can choose how people see you by using SMS courses to do that. You can also make more sales by meeting the growing needs of your audience. You see, if you know your audience well enough, you're able to understand what they need day by day. For instance, if one of your audiences asks you a question that is not in line with the SMS course that you're currently doing, you can create an SMS course in that direction. About instances when people ask me questions and I go back and create ebooks about those questions they ask. So this is the same thing. You can just create an SMS course about those things and then put it up. Before you know it, when people see the SMS course and they want more information, they will call you for an ebook or a private session and so on. Now, the SMS course can influence your audience. You can also, we've mentioned some of this earlier. So, what do you need to begin? I have to say that because you're not going to be using SMS short codes, you are not going to spend money, but you also need to have certain things. One of those things you have to have, in fact, the first things you should have is what I call a duly researched and Carefully choosing keywords. Keywords. What I mean by keywords are terminologies that are related to the course you are working on. You see, those terminologies are what you use to promote your ebooks and so on. I'll talk about that soon too. For instance, in this particular course, one of the keywords there is SMS course. Yes, it's a keyword on its own. So when people, for instance, when I put an hashtag behind the word uh, SMS course, when people click on SMS course on Facebook, it's going to take them to my post that I've written about SMS course, or content that other people have written about SMS course. So you need such keywords that direct people to that particular keyword or that particular course. So you need a course title, like this one is how to create your SMS course. You need a title or how to promote your brand with an SMS course by creating SMS courses. So you need a course title, very important. You need course content and you need your audience. Your audience are people that you choose or who choose to take your course. They may be persons that you already have an relationship with, or they may be new audience entirely. Now you also need at least one other related course or product or services that is not an SMS course. You understand? I have explained this earlier. Those called the sequel, the bigger course or the bigger training or the bigger or the ebook or so on. You need at least one. I'm telling you, you cannot begin to imagine what it is like for you to just post SMS course without having anything you are selling. Don't even try it. If you're not, even if you don't have anything to sell, pick up other people's product and promote it. If you're an MLM, promote your MLM in between the course. That is the essence of using an SMS course. If you have friends who can pay you chickeny money to promote their product, perhaps you have a friend who sells shoes on Facebook, you can, in between the whole course, promote that person's shoe, add it in the SMS course and promote it. But at least you must have something that you are selling. It's very important. And you will have a payment platform. Now you can send people your account number, they pay and so. But one of those things I've noticed over the years in line of this SMS thing and other things I've done online, it's better you use an SMS platform. I'm sorry, a payment platform such as Paystack, such as if you have a website, you can pay on your website and so on. But if I use Paystack allows you to create payment portals or payments landing page for products. So you can do that. And then you need a reference site. This reference site is very important. I wish there's a way for me to show you what the reference site is right now, but I'll explain it to you in a jiffy. A reference site is a website. It can also be an offline location, such as your office, where your audience can find information about the SMS course in question. They can also give you feedback, take assessments, connect with other audiences, and find information about follow-up trainings or materials or arrangements that may be available, and find information about other SMS courses they may be interested in. Audience can also subscribe to your newsletter and so on. You see, there are two ways. There are two basic types of reference sites. You can have an online reference site. You can have an offline reference site. For example, I have an offline reference site. I use it at my office, where when I'm not currently doing SMS courses now, but I'm talking about a place where people can get more information about the things I do. So you can also have that kind of place for your services, including this SMS course you are doing. But the bottom line is that it has to be a place where people can come and get more information about what is it you are selling entirely. The SMS course, the ebooks, and so on. So you need a reference site. And you also need the reference site can be offline and or it can be online. Now I tell people that if you're going to go for offline reference sites, you also need an online reference site. But if you want to choose an online reference site, you may not need an offline reference site. And a reference site that is online, an online reference site can be a website. In fact, it can be a Facebook group. It can be just a landing page. But the idea is that when people come, they see information about the courses that you currently have, what you are studying, and so on. Please let's not dwell much about this. As you create your SMS course and you begin to promote it, you would understand what I mean by reference site. Now, what should a reference site contain? I've mentioned some of this. Uh, Now let's create a sample SMS course. The SMS course I'll be creating now, I'll be showing you how to create, is an SMS course on what I've just been talking about in the past how many minutes. So I'm going to create an SMS course of this particular thing we have been talking about, this particular topic that we have been discussing. So please pay attention. I may not be available to do more than this. In the event that you want to understand how to really create and maybe you don't understand this one well, you want more information, please contact me. I'm willing to charge you for it. Yes, this is the course title. I told you we need the course title. So introduction to SMS courses, how to promote your brand and get I made a mistake here. Okay, introduction to SMS courses, how to promote your brand using SMS courses. So duration, you see, back then when I used to do SMS courses, the duration can be 5 days, 7 days. So let's just say the duration is 15 SMSs. You see, on Facebook status, you cannot post one SMS today and then you come back tomorrow and put on that one. People will have lost interest. So instead of that, you post those content for 15 days, for 7 days. You post it one after the other. One message, one SMS 2, SMS 3, SMS 4, SMS 5, SMS until 15 or so. So this one, it is 15 SMS. So we call it duration. So let's call it duration. Now the first one, you see, you can say like this one. My name is Lady Zil. Remember that it's not everybody that will be seeing it that already knows you. So that Lady Zil has an hashtag. That Lady Zil is a keyword, meaning that when they click on that hashtag Lady Zil, it will take them to Lady Zil. My username on Facebook is Lady Zil. So the moment they click hashtag Lady Zil, it is taking them to my place, my profile, my Facebook profile. You understand what I'm trying to say? Good. Now, hi, my name is Lady Zil. I'm taking you on introduction to SMS courses. Please visit bit.ly/SMS course for more information about this course. You see that bit.ly /SMS course is the reference site. So once they click on a reference site, they take them to perhaps my website or my Facebook group or whatever it is, or information about my office where they can get more information about that course. You understand some of these things now? Okay, let's move on. SMS courses, that SMS2. SMS courses are short messages for teaching a subject, topic, or solving a specific problem. You see, specific problem also is a keyword. I put an hashtag. Yes. Sorry. I put an hashtag to show that it is a keyword. So when they click on that specific problem, it should take them to your reference site. And let me also mention that they don't have to click on that specific problem, but they will need the keyword so that when they get to the reference site, they can search on the reference site specific problem. So reference site will show them what specific problem means and so on. So some of these keywords are usually things that you are not able to explain in the SMS course, for which the only explanation they can find is on your reference site. So, okay, SMS courses are short messages for teaching a subject, topic, or solving a specific problem via online statuses and bulk SMS platforms. To buy the ebook of this course, please visit bit.ly/SMS course. So I'm referring them to the reference site. Okay, SMS 3. There are two major types of SMS courses. Courses that can stand alone, and two courses that need follow-up sessions in order to help learner achieve the objective. This course has a follow-up session here, bit.ly/SMS course. If you notice, I used one keyword, one reference site. Now you may not be able to always put the keyword and the reference site. You shouldn't do that all the time. You should be spying, especially the first three. You can try that, but as you move on, when you begin to talk about the meat of the matter, you should avoid putting too much what they call those things now. Once they click it there, it will take them somewhere else. So you should avoid doing that. But the keywords, you have to put a keyword in every of those SMSs. Number 4, SMS 4. Examples of content that pass as SMS courses are step-by-step instructions, guidelines, how-tos, and other strategy and implementation related information. The idea is to provide value to your audience. You should provide value as an hashtag. It is a keyword. So when people go to the reference site and search provide value, they have an idea of what it means that you're talking about. Provide value, I tell you, that provide value alone, you can create an SMS course on it. So that's how to provide value to your audience. And your audience will still buy it or still see the SMS course. So moving on, SMS 5. We have authors, speakers, trainers, and all other person relating with your audiences can teach SMS courses. Effective courses, if designed right, should contain no hypes and able to build your brand and help you promote your product. You see, build your brand is a keyword. Effective courses is a keyword. See that effective courses now. The person may be wondering what is the meaning of effective courses. So what it just means that when you gets to different sites, you will see the meaning of effective courses. You can even have a course that talks about effective courses. For example, 50 types of effective courses that you can do. 500 naira. I'm telling you, they will pay. So to begin, you need a reference site such as bit.ly/SMS course, a short code. Oh, we don't need a short code here. Sorry. With a duly researched and carefully choosing keyword, okay, an expert understanding of your content, potential audiences, and a content design plan. I made a few mistakes in this SMS6, but I believe you now understand what I should have written. I should have written something like you need you need a reference site such as bit.ly and a few carefully choosing keywords and an expert understanding of your content and your potential audiences and a content design plan. Content design is a keyword. So when you get to your reference site, you're going to learn content design. In fact, you can have a course on content design. Okay. Now, a good SMS course must allow your audience to rate your brand. Rate your brand has a hashtag. It has an hashtag. Rate your content and rate themselves. It must be convincing enough to let them uncover their level of ignorance about the course or the course content and make up their minds to work with you or buy from you. You see, don't let the whole thing enter your head. The essence of an SMS course is for you to promote your brand and your product. It's for you to collect money. It's not just for you to be talking and then people just read. No. So you have to be persuasive. In between the whole thing, there has to be an element of see what I can do. I can do more for you. so on. So you have to your sales skills or marketing skills or whatever it is skills, promotion skills will help you in this situation. Now, a reference sheet contain SMS course, descriptions, definition of terms in the course, and other information. It will also contain your bio, that's your profile bio, your link to your online profiles, and other courses. So other courses are is an hashtag, is a keyword. So that when they click on that or they go to your website or your reference site, they're going to see other courses. When they click other courses would pop up and you'll see the other courses that are there. And you may also put an email opt-in page, like subscribe to my email list and so on. So you can collect emails this way. SMS via the SMS via the reference site, you should engage your audiences by promoting your follow-up sessions, if any, get feedbacks, comment comments and testimonials, and get suggestions for new course content. Now, number 10, asserting learning activities that would help you achieve your goal for your course, such as a case study and guided discovery. And assess your audience possible impediment to learning before designing your course. What I'm just trying to say in this SMS 10 is that you should, before you start, you should ascertain the goal that your course should be serving for your audience, and it should be able to assess. You should have assessed your audience possible impediment to learning before designing your course. For instance, if your audience are old people, you don't want to use too many grammar, or you don't want to use too many keywords that are full of jargons. You want to speak clearly. You don't want to use keywords that are bogus or that are complicated or that are, how do I put it now, that are not simple. So you have to consider your audience. That's the first thing I told you, the three essentials you need to understand your audience. So your audience will determine how the course is designed. Okay, SMS 11, you should design your course content any way that suits you. But I recommend that you write it based on a pre-designed outline while making sure not to go beyond the course objective. You should use hashtags sparingly too. What this means is that when you are designing your SMS course, it is important that you do it any way that you want to do it. But just that you should have an outline. Just like if you're writing a book, you have an outline. Say content one, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So you can have something like that. Instead of chapter, maybe SMS 1, SMS 2, you, like a title for each SMS, then you build on it. So, but personally, what I used to do was, I tell you, this SMS, you may not really understand it yet until you begin to make a lot of money from it. What I used to do back then is, for each SMS course, as I'm writing SMS course, I'm creating an ebook on it. So the way I do it is basically I create an ebook, and then from that ebook I cut out some parts, and the other parts that I want to use, I use it to create an SMS course. So that content that I use to create an SMS course is the one I'm ready to give out free. The remaining content is one I want to sell in the ebook. So that small content that I want to give out is what I'm going to create an SMS course out of. I hope you get that now. Okay. So SMS 12, you could use this SMS course as a case study. It is divided into 13 subtopics or 13 topics. A welcome message, that's one I used in the first one. When I said my name is Lady Zil, I'll be teaching you this. That's the first SMS. A welcome message and a thank you and contact me message. You see, so I talked about 13 topics or subtopics as it were, 13. And then the first SMS was a welcome message or a welcome SMS, and the last one with a thank you or contact me message. So the next SMS we'll be talking about now, which is SMS 13, will be about designing your own SMS course. Now you must know that let me go back here. As what I've been talking about here, I'm reading out the content of the SMS course. I'm just using it to explain this course to you. So I'm not saying that when you want to give your own or your audiences your own SMS course, you should read it out. No, I'm not saying that too. Um, eh, I hope you understand that part. I'm not saying that too. What will happen is you will copy this. For instance, if you're on SMS 12, you copy SMS 12 and post it on your WhatsApp or Facebook status. When you go to SMS 13, you copy it. So they will read by themselves. Your reference site and your contact number and your name and everything will be on it, like I've been showing you. So when they need to buy from you, they will buy. Okay. So day 13, do you have an SMS course in mind? You could practice designing an SMS course with your favorite blog post or a chapter of your book. SMS courses are cost effective for promoting your brand, products, and services. So day 14, did you have issues discerning the right learning activities for your SMS course yesterday? Oh, SMS 13 rather. Okay. Did you have issues discerning the right learning activities for your SMS course earlier? This is not yesterday because it's supposed to be day SMS 14, not day. How can you how can you promote how can you work with your audience to promote it? See the FAQ section of this course on bits.ly SMS courses for more information. So what I'm just trying to say here is that if you're having issues with designing the right learning activities for your SMS course, you can work out a way to get your audiences involved. For instance, on your reference site, you may even God, I'm telling you, there's a lot of prospects for you when you use an SMS course. You can have like this day 13 or day 14 now. You can have your audience take an assessment. For example, you can say, have you okay, now that you are through with this course, take the assessment here and get perhaps you have a freebie or something you want to give them. Do you understand? Get a bonus ebook for so and so. They will take the assessment. Those are pass, you give them the ebook or you give them the freebie. Do you understand? What I'm just trying to say is that a lot of things you can do. You can have them take assessments. It can just be a Google form kind of assessment where they click on their direct answer and then you send them their answer and all that. It's just a way for you to engage them anyway. So you can engage them anyhow. You can even tell them to that if they like what they've just read, they should join your Facebook group. Put your Facebook group link there. You see, instead of this might see the frequently asked questions section for this course. You can put your Facebook group link there. I know you're understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so this is SMS 15. This is the last one. This is the thank you and contact info part. Thank you for taking this course. You may also buy my 20-page ebook with same title on bit.ly/SMS courses for 500 naira only. I can be reached on 0021318286. I'll be glad to help. Now, this course has ended. What it means is that if you're going to be using WhatsApp status, you put 15 statuses and they must follow each other. Please don't try and have a another content in between the SMS course. You would tune them out. They should follow each other. Each SMS should follow each other. So that when a person reads SMS 1, they'll read SMS 2. They'll be willing to read SMS 3 because you understand it's a follow up on SMS 3, SMS 4, and SMS 5. So they are interested in what you are writing. So, and watch what you are posting. Don't go and post something that is opposite what you are talking about in the course. So that's that for that. I hope you've been able to understand how to create an SMS course. Please note that this course I designed it to help you understand how to create SMS courses. I have plans to create a couple of SMS courses this weekend. So if you would like to work with me personally, I don't charge. I don't want to charge you too much because I like I like to see that I can help you in many ways instead of always looking to collect money from you. So it's please reach out to me this weekend. I'll be writing a few of those courses. I can share some of them with you while I write so that it can give you an idea of how to write yours. And if you do are not, uh, you may also pay me to teach you some of these things. It's you don't know, don't mind me. Anyway, let's. But I believe that you now understand how to create an SMS course. Please and please, I please and please, I cannot overemphasize how important this SMS course can be to somebody who wants to promote his or her brand. And the good thing about this thing is that you promote your brand and still get paid. See, back then in 2014, when I paid over 60,000 naira to get SMS short code and SMS box site, I knew that there was there was opportunity in that. This thing. You see, some Yemi and some other persons, especially ministers, pastors, I mean clergies that use SMS short codes to promote, they made a lot of money from it. So if you do SMS courses and you promote it, you use WhatsApp status or Facebook status to promote it. I tell you, you you can sell a lot of your products that way. You see, I joined a class recently. I've forgotten Choma Eze, this accounting hub madam. She's an accountant. She does a lot of things. You see, I bought Emeka Nobi's book, Your Book We Sell. So he added us to the academy, Your Book We Sell Academy. Choma was one of those speakers. She mentioned something like this, and I just smiled. You see, what Choma was saying was that you can sell low cost ebooks. If you have been following Choma for a while, you see what you see something like that a couple of times. You would have seen it a couple of times. Choma always talked about how she sells low cost ebooks. So she said she was teaching us how to create low cost ebooks, even how to design it, how to promote it, and so on. So it's the same thing. Uh, the low cost ebooks that she was talking about, she said 1,000 naira. If you do this your own ebook, you may sell it for 500 naira, 1,000 naira. But I recommend that you don't sell it for too high. You understand? Especially if the content is below 20 pages. For a 20-page ebook, 1,000 naira, 500 naira is okay. But mine is going to 50 pages. You can go for 2,000. Please let me round up now. If you have questions, please reach out to me. I don't want to bore you. And besides, my children are disturbing me. So, all right. Thank you so much for your time. I'll get back to you. Please feel free to ask questions or reach out to me. Thank you.